There is a repair that was made at some point. You can tell the different coloration of the shingles. So you can definitely use this in an example. Hello, William with Alamo here. Today we are out in Hobart. We have a customer here and they called us to come out and give them an estimate on a full roof replacement. So we're coming out, we're gonna check and see. You can see here they've had a repair once before, and I think they said they're still leaking a little bit around a skylight. So we're gonna take a look at everything and see what we can find. And on a valley is so much easier. GAF, absolutely. How'd you know? All right. So today, I want to talk to you about the differences between a total roof replacement and why that would be needed over a repair, and why sometimes a repair is all that's needed to save you time and money in the long run. So for this house out here in Hobart, I found a couple of things already. Really don't think a repair can help this home. I think it really needs to have a roof replacement. Whenever you're looking at your roof, you can see a lot of this stuff from the ground. But right here is a couple of areas where in the shingle itself and all the shingles around it, you could tell it's aged because there's a lot of degranulation. It's where all the granules and all the little rocks that are on your shingle start to fall off. And you can actually look in your gutter and you can see a lot of the rocks there. So degranulation is one huge thing. Second, once the rocks are off of there and the tar, everything that makes the shingle, now when all that is gone, you're gonna have fiberglass. And right here, fiberglass is showing all around the edges of the shingles, the inside of the shingle, lots of holes, all spread out throughout. So that just shows that the shingle can no longer really protect itself or your home. Shingle's there. Here as well, on top of that shingle, there's a large hole right there. Water can actually get in this and sink underneath that, be absorbed under that, and get underneath the shingle, and that's how you start having some leaks. See the illuminated effect of all the fiberglass on all the shingles. So if you see something shiny, that's going to be your fiberglass. Around the skylight as well, and you can definitely see that, the bottom edges here. Looks like the seal up here, it's a very old skylight. It is a Velux, which is fantastic, so we'll be able to get an exact match off of that. So in here, it looks like the seal, the skylight's been so old, it's starting to have some of that clouding effect in here, that fogging in the glass. But also, that seal has been sun rotted, and it is actually dissolved or broke right there, and you get a lot of growth that's right in here as well. Water stains on the wall, it's going down, it's messing with the drywall on both bottom corners. But on all Velux skylights, the model number and all the information that you need is right under here. So there's that, but that doesn't tell you anything. If you look, Velux Velterm G75, numbers 104.
Yeah, under the glass.
Mm-hmm. Floppy little point beak. So this pipe root, that's golden. It's a root. So this pipe boot here was installed incorrectly. As you can see here, I can just lift this with my fingers. There's not a nail, there's no caulking underneath to seal that in. So anytime you get some good wind-blown rain or wind in general, it could lift this up. And right around here where the pipe boot is, all the way around where the shingles hit on the pipe boot, you could tell when you have hard, strong winds, this thing lifts up and it's actually created a crack in the shingles here. So if the customer was having a leak right here, very easily could come up with a repair and just come replace the pipe boot, replace the shingles around it, check the decking, the underlayment, add all that brand new. That way they would not be leaking anymore. So if this is you, if you have a leaky pipe boot or somewhere in your home, we can definitely come out and do a full inspection. So if we could save you some money by doing a repair, we're more than happy to do so. But also, if we do notice that you need a full roof replacement, we'll let you know and we'll work something out. So here's another thing we notice when we're on a roof. Probably about 90% of all the roofs we get on don't have the proper maintenance on them. So if you have a ridge cap on your roof, ridge vent, anything that has a nail up at the very top that's exposed, typically that should be covered with a good tube of caulk. Sometimes your roof may be very steep and you're not going to get the average person up on a roof like that, but a roof does call for regular maintenance. So with something like this, homeowner could come up here, they could hire someone to come up and just do maintenance on the roof. We'd go around, caulk all the exposed nail heads like this right here. So what actually happens here is whenever rain falls, it can collect and go straight down the shaft of the nail directly into the attic space. So the nail right here, it's not nailing this down, so wind can actually get this lifted up and create more damage. So when water gets in this, it goes through the shingle and then right into the decking on the wood. So it starts, all that moisture, all the water gets right in the wood, right around that nail hole, starts to rot out. And you're gonna notice when you go into your attic space, you're gonna see some rusty nails, some black spots that are starting to appear on the nails. It's because there's a lot of moisture that's still in the attic space. So install a good ridge vent, make sure you have good adequate ventilation, and make sure you get regular maintenance on your roof. That way you don't have any of these little issues. Nothing that we need to write home about, but there's an exposed nail right there. Out.
Ready when you are.
All right. So a recap of what we just found on the roof. Roof does need to be replaced. There's a lot of missing granules. Even more and worse than that, there's a lot of open fiberglass that is showing in the shingles. Definitely can't do any repairs on that, so we'll have to do a full roof replacement, and that's exactly what the customer was asking for anyways. But if you have just one specific area that is problematic, such as a pipe boot or a leaking skylight, those things can be repaired very easily. We just come out, we get the correct measurement. So if it is something small, one area that's leaking, a couple areas that are leaking, maybe a couple of skylights and a pipe boot, doesn't necessarily mean you need a full roof replacement. What it means is you need to have someone come and do a full inspection on your roof, potentially repairs, potentially a full roof replacement.